Hey guys, today we're going to start standing on your mat, but I'd like you to move your mat against the wall. You want to make sure you have enough space in this area to be able to lean against the wall, use the wall, lie on your back, use the wall. You're going to need your small ball as well. So leaning against the wall with your feet slightly forward, you're going to walk them forward so that there's enough space, about maybe a hand length between your heel and the wall, and your arms are relaxed at your sides. Set your shoulder blades by pulling them back into the wall, and then feel this big hollow space in the lower back. I'd like you to fill it with your spine by drawing in your navel and pulling your ribs down towards your hips. Then feel how the head is almost pulled forward. I need you to also anchor the head back into the wall. So you're pressing your head back, your shoulders back, your ribs down, and your abdominals in. Take 3 breaths here. In through the nose and exhale through the mouth. You want to make sure that you're still pressing through the ground, through your toes into the ground, and that you're lengthening your spine, pulling your head up off your shoulders. Each exhale, you want to deepen that connection with your abdominals. Now we're going to draw in, nodding chin towards your chest, and then your exhale, rolling down vertebra by vertebra, tucking in your chin and curling, peeling your spine off of the wall. Your bum bones are allowed to slide up the wall and respond to this articulation. Inhale at the bottom, and then on your exhale, you must try to tuck your tail, pulling your bum bones down the wall and squashing your low back one bone at a time into the wall until you unravel the head off your shoulders and against the wall. Inhale, nod chin, but do not let it squash onto your chest. You're nodding it towards your chest, and then you stay there. Then you articulate because you drop your chest rather than you slam your face. Inhale at the bottom and exhale to roll back up. Remember that you're about 4 fingers off your chest with your chin. Keep that shape. Press your head back towards the wall and unravel. Shoulders back, ribs down, abs in. 1 more. Nodding the chin, you peel off the wall. Spine presses into the wall. Then you roll down. Yes, sometimes you need to be reminded. Inhale at the bottom and exhale to tuck the tail and roll yourself, scooping up your tummy. Careful of the chin on chest. Head presses back and unravel. Then you're going to grab your ball and put it behind your upper back. Well, let's go mid back, so like between low back, mid back. And you'll move your feet further forward. On an inhale, you'll lift your arms in front of you and bend your knees to lower down your hips. Pause here. You want to make sure that your knees are feeling comfortable. So if your feet are too under your bum, you're going to have too much flexion in the knees. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your thighs. We're hanging out here on purpose. Stay. Tight arms. Exhale, rise up. So if you need to walk your feet further forward, do so now. But then also make sure that you're not on a slippery surface. So the actual mat on the floor needs to be sturdy. Inhale, bend the knees. And exhale, rise back up. So it's possible that you need to remove socks or your mat in order to do this safely. Inhale, bend. And then exhale, rise. You're going to carry on at your own pace, breathing in to lower the hips down towards the knees, inhaling at the bottom, and exhale to come back up. And we'll do 4 more. And breathe out. 3. And then 2 more. And on your last one, you go down, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your thighs, rise back up, and then slide your toes to where your heels are exactly now in space. So you move your feet back. You'll go on your tippy toes, so you're lifting your heels up off the floor. Don't creep too far back. And then you inhale to bend the knees. Kneecaps move forward, and exhale, you rise back up. Again, you check in with yourself. Are the knees happy to be so bent? Don't go too low. And if you do, you can use your hands against the wall to come out of it with ease. And also try not to go too high on the tippy toes. Half mast them. Inhale. And exhale, come up. We'll carry on with another 5. Draw in the navel. And 4, if you don't have a ball at home, you slide on the wall. It works. And last 3. Tight thighs 2. Hope you're coping. And last one. Then we'll take your hands behind your head, interlacing the fingers, letting the elbows melt forward, but the head presses back. So it's a nice little reminder that your head must be aligned, rib cage is closed, heels are still lifted. You turn the heels to touch, and on an inhale, the knees go wide. And then exhale, you rise up. So Tessa's going really low. You do not have to go as low. You can go a quarter way down or a third of the way down. Drawing in belly button to spine. We inhale to lower as if you're sliding down a pole. And 6 more like this. So you're supposed to be feeling it by now, so you're on track. Squeezing the heels aggressively together. We'll get a little bit more out of the legs. And then the thought of squashing the legs together as you rise up uses inner thigh, your adductor muscles. And so we want to really recruit the whole leg on the way up. Last one, up you come. And then you can lower your hands and lower your heels. Well done. We're going to add wide because we mean. Everyone thought I was going to leave it out. Arms out forward. And go a little wider than that, Tess, so that the toes are off the edge of the mat. And we'll open the arms out like you're hugging a big JoJo tank. We make it South African. Close those fingers. On an inhale, you bend your knees to go down. And then exhale, you can come back up. Good. Pressing through the heels. And exhale, rise. Be mindful of letting your bum go too far underneath the ball. We want to push the bum just a tad forward in this case here with Tessa today. But it might be that your bum is too far forward. So just keep tracking on a straight line down as if sliding down that pole. And then engage inner thighs by imagining that it's possible to pull the heels towards one another. You don't need to move your feet, you're just trying to traction them. And that head is back. And you're inhaling to go down and exhaling to come up. And it might be a third of this depth. And we'll do 3 more. But Tessa's going to go lower for her last 2. And last 1. Well done. Arms go up to the ceiling. You're reaching them up. Softness in the elbows, but pulling the shoulder blades down. Hands are back. Go up onto your tippy toes and move your feet slightly and not too far in, just on the edge of the mat. Go further forward, Tess, with your feet, because you don't want your feet under you. You need them still in front of you, so you don't want to, yes. And then you're going to inhale to come down, clenching the glutes, and exhale to rise up. We do not need to go so high on the heels. So think kitten heels. I like to say kitten heels, not stripper heels. So take off your stripper heels and stick on your boardroom heels. And then you exhale. Inhale down. We're going to imagine that there's actually a magic circle or maybe a beach ball between the hands, and you're tractioning your shoulder blades down your back, but you're pressing your hands towards one another. The rib cage is closed and the navel's pulled into spine. Heels are not too high, not too low. And I'm going to make you do 4 more. And she's doing it with a smile on her face. And 2. And then your last one. Well done. Lower the arms. But the legs haven't had enough. We're going to turn and face me. So you side on now. You're about 30 centimeters away from your wall, and you're not going to use your hands to hold on during the exercise. So go a little closer. But you can use them to set yourself up. You're going to compress, or press rather, the right foot into the wall. And you're not touching the ground with the right, you're lifting it off the floor. And then you're going to lean over to the left-hand side. So I've committed to standing on the left and pressing the right. Now the hand goes away, and you stay there. So yes, you are leaning over, but you don't want to lean over too much. It's just enough so that you get the left glute to work. And then fix the arches of the feet by rolling onto the outside of the arch of the standing foot and pressing the heel of the right foot into the wall. Now you want to lean back slightly with your rib cage closed and your tail tucked. Yes, you're leaning over to the side, but mainly you're just pressing your hips into the wall. And so we're going to try and accumulate 30 full seconds. We've got 10 left. I'm making it up. Right shoulder back. Last couple seconds. And then we're going to come down and go over to the other side. So we want to do a couple repetitions here. Keeping the foot facing forward, make sure that there's alignment and that the arches of the feet are nice and established. So toes in a straight line to heel, press heel into wall. You can let go your hand. The left hand is off the wall, your ribs are closed, and you're pushing your pelvis forward and rib cage back. You might need to soften your knees depending on you. So if you hyperextend, if you straighten straighter than straight, you're going to need to pretend that there's a softness in your knee so that the knee feels like it's bent to you. But to everybody else in the room, when they look at your knee, they're going to think it's straight. But on your internal, like at an internal level, you have bent it, but it still looks straight. And so you're going to keep holding that, pressing through the wall. So not just at the wall, but pretend you're pressing all the way through. And so you're leaning over to the right hand side so that you can work this dent, the bum dent. Lengthening the spine, trying to get really tall out of that right leg and not twisting the hips. You want to pull the right hip back into its socket a little more. Last 10. Press the heel, not just the toes. Two seconds, and 1, and then relax. Okay, we are going to do it again. So turn and face me. So you weight bearing 30 centimeters from the wall. You don't hold the wall, but you just push your foot into the wall. Good. Breathing. Just in case people want to see what it looks like from the other side, we're going to trot over. Everyone's holding, you pressing, you breathing, and if you're wanting to look and see what it looks feels like on the other side. So we want to make sure we're doing the same leg. Standing on the left, pressing the right into the wall. You're trying to lift the arches of your feet and lengthen the spine. Pressing the pelvis over towards your right hand side, so you're biasing left, shoulders are back, rib cage is closed, and you're pushing the heel through the wall, not just the toes. And you keep rolling onto the outside of that left, the other way. Like roll that way, yeah, that way. It's your last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Second set on the other side, you turn around. And so alignment of that right foot, yours sneaks in, it'll turn out, so we're going to actively try and pull. The heel must be in line with the second and third toe. So if you look down at your feet, you want your calcaneus or your heel bone to, if you drew a straight line through it, all the way through the foot, it must intersect the space between the second and the third toe. And you're going to close your rib cage, tuck your tail, lengthen your spine, press through the wall, and hold for an additional 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Okay, let's now lie down on your back. So I want the feet wall side. So you're facing the wall with your feet on the wall with your legs in tabletop. So you're actually quite close to the wall. And so your heels are flat on the wall, but your arms are going to reach up towards the ceiling, and then you're going to take your arms all the way overhead. Now we've done this a couple times in your series. Palms are up towards the ceiling. It's the 100 prep. And so in this case, we've got the legs slightly apart because you're pushing into the wall, but often we'll have the legs together. But here they're apart. Drawing in your lower abdominals, pull up and under your ribs and try and squash your back into the floor. On an exhale, we'll float the arms up towards the ceiling and then lift your head and your chest and lower your hands past the sides of your thighs, hovering your hands just off the floor, reaching them towards the wall. Then on an inhale, the hands come up and they pass your ears. You stay lifted until the very last second where you have no choice but to lie down. And so you'll exhale to lift yourself all the way up, reaching forward, crunching, drawing in the tummy. And then the inhale starts the hands to move past your ears and you come all the way down. And so you'll exhale again, coming up and over. And then inhale, the hands move up and you lie down. 2 more like this. We exhale to lift. Inhale, the hands go up and you may lie down. Last one, you come on up. Lifting your arms and lay yourself down. Stay there with your arms overhead, drawing in the tummy, but walk your feet another fist width apart. So you walk your toes out and your heels out and you stay. On an exhale, we take the hands up and over in a similar way, except your right hand is going to be between your knees and your left hand is going to be on the outside of your left knee. So inhale, prepare. And exhale, the arms move through space and you crunch over towards that left thigh. Inhale, the hands go up and you lie down. And so now we're going to do another 5. Exhale, go over to the right thigh. You move the left hand between the knees, the right hand's on the outside. Inhale, arms go up and you lie down. Only 4 remaining. Exhale, up you come. Inhale, up and lie down. 3. Arms go up. And last 2. And your last one. And all the way down. Take your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers, and then cross your right ankle over your left knee in a figure of 4 stretch. Pressing the right knee away, you're going to just have a little stretch there. You can use your arms, no problem, or your hand, or you can just use the muscles in your body to like shove it away. And so we're going to exhale to lift head and chest while in this stretch. Keeping your head pressed into your hands, you may lie down. 4 more, where you exhale to lift head and chest directly through the middle of the body, and then you exhale to lay back the spine. Again. Very nice. There's a lovely pause there at the top and at the bottom. And last 2. And then in your last one, you're going to stay there. You're going to rotate your torso to the right hand side, crossing the midline. Back to center, don't go left. Exhale, go right again. Back to center. 3. Good. 4. 5. And 6. Back to center, crunch the most. And then lie down. Keep your hands where they are, swap your legs. Right foot goes down, left foot goes across. Have a moment, take a breath, use your hand, press with your muscles. And then exhale, lift head and chest. And lower. 5 more. Exhale to come up. Last 2. And last one, hopefully your tummy's working. We rotate to the left. And inhale. 5 more. Exhale, 4. Keep height. 3. Press head back. 2. And last one. Back to center, crunch the highest that you can. And then lay down the spine. Well done. Are you feeling it, Tessa? Both feet go onto the wall. So it is quite tricky when you feel like your feet don't have enough grip on the wall and you feel a little too far back in order to articulate. So you're going to take your hands down to your sides and then scoot your bum forward, 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 so that you're closer to the wall. Now I think we can get a little more articulation out of your back. So we're going to begin with the feet on the wall and your heels are down flat, and you're going to imprint your spine, curling pubic bone to sternum. The hands are long along the ground and the shoulders are open. You're lifting your hips up. Good. We are attempting to keep the heels on the wall, but some of us have really tight calves, so that's not going to work. Inhale. So let your feet respond naturally, and then exhale, come down. Don't get ahead of yourself and go onto your toes straight away. Inhale. And exhale, trying to seek the wall with your heels, you push yourself back up. But notice that if you push too hard through the wall, you're going to slide away. So you actually want to drag your feet down the wall. Not necessarily move them, but just have that sensation. And then lower yourself back down again. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, we articulate. Opening up the shoulders. And then bring yourself back down. Last one like this. And exhale, you lift. Trying to pull yourself back to the wall. Can you feel that it's possible? Yes, I can see. And then come down. So if you've scooched away from the wall and you're finding it like a little awkward, go closer. Take off your socks if you need to. You're going to go onto your tippy toes. Get a little closer, Tessa, for me. Go onto your tippy toes, and then you squeeze your heels to touch. And take your hands up and overhead. Inhale, prepare. And exhale, we articulate up like this. So we're tucking. You're dragging yourself, imagining that it was possible, towards your feet. Inhale. And then exhale, roll down. Unravel the pelvis. Squeeze the heels hard, opening the knees. Tuck the tail using your stomach, and then include your bottom as you lift yourself up. Turn your palms up towards the ceiling. Inhale at the top. And exhale, drag yourself towards your feet, using your hamstrings to pull your bottom. And then unravel completely so that there is a little hollow in your low back. Use your tummy to squash the hollow down. Use your glutes to lift you up, pulling the feet down the wall rather than pushing the wall over. Inhale here. And exhale, you'll roll yourself slowly down. Unravel, inhale. And exhale, you tuck and roll. Breathing in for me. Squeeze those heels, open those knees, and exhale, come down. Good, straighten your legs up along the wall so you don't move your bottom per se. And then you're going to move your hands towards your sides of your hips, palms down. Can you, on an exhale, lift your hips up off the floor, and then you make a straight plank-like position with your body. Holding yourself there, you draw in navel to spine. Open up the collarbones and see if it's possible to lift your right leg to tabletop. It is. Take it back down. Suck in tummy, tuck your tail, protect your low back. You don't want to overarch in the lumbar spine. And then lift your left leg to tabletop. And go back. So if this feels good, you carry on, alternating from one side to the other. If it doesn't feel that good with the straight legs, we go back to a bent leg position and you just transfer weight from one side to the other. And if that's still not great for you, you put your feet on the floor and you lift one leg to tabletop and down, and then the other leg to tabletop. So we don't need to go too far ahead. But if you're doing this and you're thinking, I think I can do more, then go ahead and lift a straight leg up and then alternate. So either way, you're doing something. You're drawing in your navel, you're tucking your tail, you're making sure your heart is open. And we've got 4 more somethings to do. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Come down slowly, vertebra by vertebra, all the way down. Excellent. Let's get you into a 4-point kneeling position. So coming out, rolling onto your side and hopping onto your hands and knees. So in the 4-point kneeling, you're going to keep your shins flat on the floor. If you've got a foot problem, you can tuck your toes if it feels more comfortable, or roll a towel underneath the arches, not the arches, but rather the lower shin. There's always something you can do, but we're going to try and press your feet down into the ground, your shins down into the ground, and hover your knees a centimeter off the floor. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. So sometimes just being in 4-point kneeling is enough work for you, but this just adds another element. There's a big stretch on the shin and the foot, I understand. So if it's not great, you change that, but otherwise you're breathing and we're spending time on our hands in this position for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, lower the knees. Take a break if you need it in the wrists, but don't be too long. Come back into this position, breathe in through your nose, and then exhale to hover your knees again. Hold. Lengthen the spine by sticking out your collarbones. Pull your shoulder blades down your back and push your head into my imaginary hand on the back of your head. Breathe. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. Last and final set. You can loosen up your wrists if you need to, or change position onto your knuckles, or roll your mat so that it forms a comfortable like ledge that you can put your heels of your hands on and then run your fingers down. Otherwise you're lifted and you're breathing for a couple more seconds, exposing bum bones backwards, clenching bum cheek, and then draw navel to spine. Breathe. Squeeze shoulder blades together down your back. Keep pressing into the pinkies and the fingertips. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, land 1. Come up into 2-point kneeling, meaning on your knees only, with your arms out in front of you. So you've got the wall behind you, which means there's something to aim for, but I want you to draw in your rib cage and your navel, tuck your tail, and then on an inhale you lean back. Drawing in the belly button, you tuck your tail more, but we don't want you to pop your chest. It's quite uncomfortable. Exhale, come up. If you're in that position and you're flaring your rib cage, you're really dumping into the lumbar spine. So you want to inhale to take your hips back, close the abdominals, pull belly button, and then exhale to pull yourself back up. If being on your knees like this feels awful and you're looking for another way to strengthen these thigh muscles, then you just go against your wall and you sit here like this in a quarter squat and you build the intensity in the thighs and you breathe. You do not have to be in kneecap pain in order to do an exercise that's good for your thighs. Remember the beginning of the session where you went up and down the wall? Just repeat that, it's brilliant. And even just holding yourself in this position, I can feel my thighs working here. 5 more like this, drawing navel to spine and making sure that your face doesn't migrate. You keep your chin in. And then try to be cocky with it, not by sacrificing your back, but by going back quite far, and then realizing that if you've gone too far, you can actually just draw in the tummy and tuck your tail and you'll be fine. Good. Co-contract the arms, bicep and tricep. Let's involve them here. And exhale to pull yourself back up. Inhale, we go back. And last one, you come on up. Make your way to standing. Turn around, face the wall. Take your hands onto the wall for me. And you want to be able to have enough space between you and the wall that it feels like a bit of a workout. The closer you are to the wall, the less weight is through the hands. So you can straighten your arms and draw in your tummy and go at an angle, attempting to keep your heels down on the floor, but also that's just based on how flexible your calves are. So some people that won't feel natural. And you're going to inhale to bend the elbows down towards the floor, lowering your body to the wall, and then exhale to press back. And you are allowed to have your hands a little lower so that they're in line with the shoulders rather than a bit above them. Inhale, you keep your elbows facing down towards the ground so that you can target a very small muscle in your arm, the tricep. Inhale. When I say small muscle in your arm versus the big muscles of your chest. Okay, so we're actually using a tricep-based push-up instead of a pectoral push-up. And I love how the shoulder blades live wide on the body, ribs in, please don't arch your back. And so the shoulder blades have to live wide because we've tucked in the elbows. And exhale, press away, close the rib cage, make sure you do not change the shape of the bones of your lower back. Inhale, and exhale, press away. And so you can also play with it when you attempt to possibly avoid touching the wall with the elbows. And exhale, press away, versus tapping the wall with your elbows. Inhale, go in, get the elbows to the wall, and exhale away, but do not sacrifice your neck. We do 3 more like this. Chin in, chin in, chin in. Exhale away. I'm really taking her to the edge. Draw in the abs. Shoulder blades wide. You're doing such a good job. And last one. And then exhale, pull yourself back up. Well done. Step a bit closer to the wall, and you're going to put your arms in this V position. So the problem with this V position is that there isn't anything tethering your elbows close together or anything really pushing your hands apart. So you need to mentally buy into what I'm wanting you to do. You're going to turn your palms to face one another, and then get your elbows close together. Now, if close to you have that yellow band, you're welcome to put the yellow band around the wrists so that it gives you something to fight for. You're fighting for some kind of tension in the band. So you can open those wrists really wide, but don't be confused. The fingers don't count as the wrists, okay? Elbows are together, rib cage is closed, abs are in. And you're gonna slide one arm up the wall and then the other arm up the wall. Please make more space between your wrists. Tessa, close your elbows. Oh, I like that this is needed. This is needed. Ribs in. And so you make your way up the wall and then you make your way down the wall. Good, all the while trying to make the shape of a vase, not a pyramid. And then keep going. Good, and you can see the sneaky hands, they really, really want to be successful. So be careful of the palms. Yes, and again. And down. And now you're cursing. And if you're not cursing, double it up. Do more. You can also use your blue band, your TheraBand. You can tie it in a loop, or the yellow band in a loop. And one more. Opening up the wrists, closing the elbows, closing the ribs. Do not sacrifice the back. And then come out of that. Well done. You're going to turn around and get down into 4-point kneeling on your mat, but you're quite close to the wall so that you can prop your one foot against the wall and have the knee on the floor. Now, we're all in different knee phases of our lives. So let's say I take the foot up against the wall, the other leg, so we've got right foot against the wall, left foot needs to come forward into a lunge position on the sole of your foot. Yes, now you're going to wiggle your hands forward, wiggle your hips forward, but keep your knee back. So you're moving the pelvis forward. And the trick here is to get so far forward that you're not on your kneecap. You are beyond the kneecap. And if that is horrific, you can put a towel underneath the knee so that it props your knee slightly higher off the floor and you're resting on the front, the lower part of your thigh, as opposed to the bones of the right kneecap. So there you are on this huge, big, deep stretch. And again, I've given you a couple of alternatives in previous classes, but you're welcome to do a side-lying version of this stretch. You can lie down on your side, holding the foot with a belt or a band, and have the bottom knee bent and your head is rested. Breathe. Then if this feels good and you're wanting to take it up a notch, you can clamber up the left leg into a kneeling position so that you're up high and able to do the stretch here. But be mindful, this is a huge stretch, so it might feel too big for you. And if you still want to get a deeper stretch, then tucking the tailbone under really opens up the hip flexor. But it might be enough, it might be fine, just take a few breaths here. And so if you feel like you're done. You can come out of it slowly, and we're going to give you enough time to get onto the other side. So come down with the hands, rock back, change legs, put the right foot forward, wiggle the foot forward, make your way forward, lift your heart, lift your chest, stay down for a while because we want to mimic what we did on the other side. Pressing the pelvis forward, get off your kneecap, get onto the lower part of the thigh, grab the cushion, put it under your knee if you need to. Even, a ball or a roller. And then deeply inhale and exhale. Consider coming up the leg. Consider going into a deeper stretch. And also feel the difference between the two sides, possibly easier or harder on the other side. Tuck the tail. Shoulders back. Ribs closed. Breathe. Three more breaths. And then come down for me. You may lie down on your tummy. Can you put your arms in a W position? With your hands in line with your temples, but your elbows slightly lower. You want to squeeze the shoulder blades down your back and drop your elbows into the floor. We have done this before with the wrist lifting, but perhaps this is your first video with us. So you will squeeze your elbows into the ground, lifting your palms and your wrists off the floor. And I'm choosing to do this with you because that wall walking was insightful. Squeezing the shoulder blades down, you just hover your head off the floor and you feel what's needed in the rotator cuff muscles and the postural muscles to get a little height in the palms. And then you can rest completely. So we want softness in the glutes, softness in the tummy, and then just a lift of the wrists and the forehead off the floor so that you're activating your lower trapezius and some of the rhomboid and a lot of the rotator cuff muscles. And then you can relax completely down. So be mindful of the wrists creeping closer to the temples. Take your hands further away from your mat, and on an inhale, we're attempting to lift head, chest, and not let the wrists creep in and then come down. It's also okay if for you the exercise is just merely pressure through the elbows. So on an inhale, you lift your head and your chest and you just press your elbows because you cannot fathom lifting your wrists, and then come down. And your last one, you're going to inhale to lift and exhale to come down. The arms move to sides, palms against the sides of your thighs, and you lift your hands slightly off the floor so that you aren't resting your thumbs on the ground, and then be mindful of the orientation of the wrist. So often the fingers creep up. Let's get them to form a straight line along the thighs. On an inhale, you lift your shoulders off the floor, but you do not lift your chest too high. You keep quite low. And then you straighten your arms a lot and squash your wrists into the side of your body. And then you'll come down for me. On an inhale, lift the shoulders, squash the arms, lengthen the arms, squash the elbows, squash the wrists, and then you can come down. On an inhale, you lift once more, squash, actually multiple more times, and then come down. And I'm doing it because you wished it was one more. On an inhale, you lengthen the arms and you squash your wrists and you squash your elbows and you roll your shoulders, and then you lower yourself back down. I'll give you a number, it's 3 more. On an inhale, you lift up, you straighten your arms, you squash your arms, and then you can come down again. Last 2, we inhale, the bum is soft and the tummy is soft and the arms are not as strong and long, and you can come down. This is your last one. You inhale, we lift and you squash, and then you can come down and push yourself back into rest position. Hands underneath shoulders, pushing bum back, and then straighten your arms out in front of you. Breathe. There is so much we can do on the mat just with your body. Then we add balls and bands and walls and blocks and chairs and things, and the opportunity to move your body in a nourishing, feel-good, stabilizing way is endless. So thank you for participating in today's session. Take a deep breath in and exhale. You did well. Do not give up. Don't stop. Breathing in and exhale. Make your way onto your back, lying down. You're going to relax your legs, relax your arms. Permission to let it go. Permission to seek softness. To inhale into your tummy. To melt onto your mat. And find stillness amongst all this busyness. Stealing some time for yourself. Investing in yourself. Take a beautiful inhale and sigh it audibly out. That means breathe loudly. Take another one. And as you breathe out, you can let all your tension go. Well done, and thank you for joining us today.